Okay, so this is some advice for writers out there. So this is what I like to call a literature possibilities diagram, or possibilities in literature diagrams. So LPD, or PIL for short. So what you do is you go start with an item, so, and then you, with a topic, so in this case a pencil, and then you start with an item, and then you say why you're going to use it. So this is for real world purposes, and then you keep going out for drawing arrows, and then thinking about how the possibilities of discourse or making a story might expand. So this is for writing a story. It could be a fictional story, it could be an actual story, or like a report or anything, but it's more geared to fictional stories. So in this one, I've drawn it out on one page, and I'm going to now make a video on it and gradually narrow it down. So I'm talking about a pencil here, and I'm going to say, okay, so if I'm holding a pencil, what will it be used for? Then what limited its, for example, am I going to use it for an assignment? Yep. What limited its immediate use? And then what am I going to use it for later? Is it going to be used for an assignment later or not for an assignment later? So if I were to sell this, have I been texting someone recently? If I were going to actually, if I was on the phone previously, could I actually text this to my friend and say, what do you think of my pencil? And that actually goes to two different arrows. So the pencil can have more than one use. Why would it have more than one use? Maybe I'm doing two assignments at the same time and I don't have a pen on hand. So how many uses would it have? So by this, it could be a number of things. So in this instance, to me, maybe this pencil is short, so therefore I wouldn't be using it for long before I had to sharpen it. And where did this information come from? From my visual observance. And I could say that you didn't really need to guess with something like a pencil. It's a very simple instrument about when you need to sharpen it. You just automatically know when to sharpen it. And what about the pencil speed? I would be having to write pretty fast. And then what if you fail to do assignment? If you fail to do the task, what does that mean for the pencil? You'd have to reuse it. So that also means that you'd have to place it close by. And probably you will not have to... so if you finish the assignment, you hope that you might not have to reuse the pencil. And then going back to the left, I wish I had something else instead of the pencil. Maybe wish you had a pen in your hand, or maybe you had more free time. I wish I did not need it, so that's there. And then what are the bad uses of a pencil? Sucking on the tip, a bad habit. Maybe facing the pointer towards you before you get to writing. You can think about the global possibilities. What is a pencil called in another language, for example? The poetic uses, why you would get, for example, why you want to get away from this pencil. Maybe the pencil has a bad design. So in this, I actually take an anagram like global and then turn each one into a sentence. So that is kind of like an occupational anagram. So, or I could say, okay, so L could, for me, it could stand for other things. That losing it meant losing the pencil. It might mean that it'd be difficult to find because it was so short, or generally that it'd be difficult to find because my room is such a mess, or someone else would probably take this pencil so other people can go in and out of my room. So observing my handwriting carefully because the pencil wouldn't last long. The pencil might break easily. Why is this? Maybe it's not a bad brand pencils, or you can muse on it and say, have you ever heard of a bad brand of pencils? For most pencils, brand doesn't matter. You want to allow for some rest in between pencils. Maybe you want to use the pencil after lunch, immediately after you've used it, or you finished a sentence, so you finished the paragraph. And then you could talk about where it was before. So it was on the assignment after lunch, or was somewhere else, or you think that the pencil isn't as how you found it, or the wind had recently blown the pencil. And then you could talk about things that you expected, so that you expected to find it where it was, and the unexpected, the pencil had rolled away, or there was a different pencil there. Maybe someone else borrowed your pencil and then broke it and replaced it. So the pencil was on the table, and then when you last placed it, and then what was left. You could talk about what was left. What's the left, right, beside it, underneath the pencil, or whether it was under the bed. And then you could talk about the pencil having been previously lost and being under the bed, but how far under the bed, and you could talk about the characteristics of the under the bed interaction to the pencil, such as where it was. It was tough reaching it. You had to use a different tool, like an extendable grabber, to get it. Maybe you had to use something like a small book that fit underneath the bed to like push it out, like swing it out. So you really had to reach for it. And you could talk about your arms. So my arms were quite weak. I wish I had longer arms. You could talk about the angle, and then you could talk about your own skin of your arms. And then, so was there anything else underneath the bed that you found the pencil with? Like a clip, an old ruler, or a chocolate wrapper? Do you find a similar item? And then, what about the design of the pencil? You know, was it a good design, bad design? You know, do you remember in childhood that you had like pretty pencils if you were a girl? Or what are you a boy and you had a pretty pencil? You could talk about the pencil brand, and what else do you know about the people who make the pencil? Do they make anything else? Is there any interesting historical facts that you could write about? Or what do you wish about the pencil's design? Could you have another tip with it? Like, do you wish it had an eraser on it? So that is a literature possibility diagrams for the word pencil.